Hi friends, welcome on panel discussion related to the teaching job interview by Assam Engineering Services Recruitment Board, and interviews are soon going to be started, and this recruitment board is going to conduct interviews for different professions, different backgrounds like mechanical, automobile, textile, electronics, I mean many technical professional backgrounds. Students are shortlisted for this interview. And because it is teaching interview is little different from the rest of the interviews. When you go for other interviews, then couple of things which are asked in teaching. Additional to that, many other aspects you have to cover. Our today's panel discussion is related to this only, that if somebody is going for the post of lecturer in a technical teaching domain, and you are from different profession, and the recruitment board is going to conduct the interview, then how you have to prepare. Our entire discussion is about that. So before I go to my mentors and I discuss with them a couple of things, let me tell you friends, broadly for any kind of teaching interview, you need to prepare your subjects in which you are confident. I mean, you are not to teach all the subjects, as you are already aware. You need to choose couple of subjects in which you are confident, because they are going to ask you which subjects you are confident in, and they will take your teaching skill test also there. So what is the pattern of that? We will discuss that also. Other than your technical knowledge or professional knowledge, which we call hard skill, teaching knowledge, teaching skill test is another addition part of that. And you need to display certain traits of a teacher. So what are the typical traits of the teachers? That is what we are going to discuss. So subjects you have to prepare, and teaching skill test, how you have to go for it. HR question typical, what are asked, what do they expect from teacher, and the traits, typical traits. These are the domains which we are going to cover. So Shubha, first most important thing is how teaching interview is different from any other kind of interviews.
Okay. So sir, in teaching interview, I would say that normally what the skills are being tested is your communication skills very first. You need to be a very good learner, and sometimes they ask you this question also, that what are the key traits of a good teacher, like 3 of the traits, and you have to justify out.
Suppose you have to tell that, do you have those or not?
Do you have those or not? Because I have seen in other, that it was Bihar Public Service Commission, it was other, you can say, domains, there was a pet question. And the second important aspect of, you can say, when you are going for the teaching profession is your teaching skill test. You can have a good knowledge, you can have tremendous knowledge, but how do you present yourself in front of the students or front of the interviewer? That is actually a differentiator. Because in teaching interview, there is generally a board is there, and you have to go over there, you have to present your teaching skills. So you can choose a topic of your choice. Maybe they say you that you just go for a topic of your choice, or even they can provide you a topic of their choice, right? So you should be ready with where you are comfortable, or you can see you have very good vocals, you have good knowledge about it, to go and choose that topic. Second, it would be that whenever you're presenting yourself on the board, you should not be, you can say directly, if I say, I cannot turn my back again and again towards in front of the interviewer, or be it the students, because they are taking a replica how you are going to perform when you are being teaching in the class. So it's going to be the same simulation. If I am presenting myself, you can say, I cannot straight away go to the board and I can just turn my back and I'm just writing something. I have to make a link. I have to start build up. Like whenever we are reading a book, we read the preface. That is giving us a kind of, you can say, what the book is going to have in future, right? So similarly, when you are going for a teaching profession, what you have to do is you have to present, you have to make them communicate. You have to build up that space so that the interviewer is fascinated to listen to you. Then in between, yes, you can give for the bulletin points on the board. Bulletin points should be there, and it should not be that you are crystal clear, only then write. I won't say that you are just writing and you are erasing again and again. That is something that is unclear in your mind, and if you are doing that. Diagrams are only, I would say they are very good presentations, but only in the case you are able to present themselves well, you are good in that, then only do that. Because that is, whenever you are presenting something in a diagrammatic form, obviously that is also taking in, the interviewer feels that yes, the presenter knows something. So that should also be taken into consideration. And one more thing, that before you are leaving from that space, like suppose you presented something, you should be you justified the bulletin points, you have explained it well, and then when you're leaving from that space, obviously you have to erase, you have to clear up that space too. So these are the important things that you are to present yourself. The very first, your flow should be good. It should not be that you are atak rahe hai karke, wo bhi nahi hona chahiye. Yeah, filler should not be there. And then it should be like you are not able to make an eye contact properly with each and every person who is sitting over there. So these are certain aspects, though we will have a explained, you can say, elaborative video on this about the teaching skill, but this is something that is very important related to teaching profession.
As you mentioned, Bihar Public Service Commission, Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission, lecturer, assistant professor, Haryana Public Service Commission we have covered. Friends, there are detailed video already on the YourPedia channel. If you go on YourPedia channel and write teaching skill test, you will get a couple of videos where mentors are teaching and telling you this is how it has to be. What Shubhya you said, let me summarize it for all of you. Very important points Shubhya has told. She has talked about gesture and postures. The moment you stand there, friends, do not start teaching the topic. Develop the rapport with interviewers there. Actually, in actual situation, they are the students, but you have to develop the rapport. You have to maintain eye contact and tell gist of what you are going to teach. Second, the board you will have 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that.
Right.
You will not have time sufficient to clean it, erase it, and rewrite. You should not be in a hurry to complete the topic. Many times I saw students start teaching fast, very fast, because they think I am to complete the topic. No, they are not going to. They are going to check your teaching skill. That should be displayed. You need to teach very calmly, so that whatever you are teaching, that should be that they should understand it. Choice of the topic is very meticulously to be done. Sometimes they will give you the topic, as Shubhya said. Sometimes you have to choose. So go prepared. You should choose the topic in which there is a opportunity for you to make a diagram. Write the equation, explain from the equation, explain the assumptions behind that equation, and tell the application of that particular thing. I give you example. If you start teaching Bernoulli equation, you have to write the equation. Do not forget to tell the application of Bernoulli equation. Do not forget to tell assumption behind Bernoulli equation, because these are very, very important things. So they will see, as a teacher, when you are teaching, can you make the link between the application part? Can you make a diagram, very good diagram? Can you write equation and explain every term of the equation? Can you explain this is a pressure head, this is a datum head, something like that? So this is how it is to be done. Gesture posture is very important, friends. You need to maintain eye contacts with the interviewer, so that in the actual situation also, a teacher has to maintain the eye contacts with all the students. So those things are very, very important. One thing, Shubhya, what is the typical timeline which a student should think of teaching skill test ke liye? How much time do they have normally?
So it is approximately, like suppose your interview is going for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It can be a brief part, like starting they're going to start with an introduction of yours and the basic questions like why teaching profession, what made you infatuated toward this profession. Then you can just expect maximum will be 10-15 minutes, I would say. Not more than that, not beyond that. And as you well explained that you should not be in a hurry to explain the topic. They're just trying to check your presentation skills. So it should be tested between the 8 minutes to 15 minutes. That is you can say the time interval. The least is 8 and the max is 15, I would say.
Sometime when you enter the room, they tell you to go on the board directly. Sometime when you are sitting there, first they will interview you and then they will tell you to go on the board. Sometime they will not even ask you to go on the board. All the three formats are there. We don't know in Assam what they are going to do it, but all the three formats are existing there. When you seek the snaps or mocks with YourPedia mentors with us, please try to arrange a small board. It's a very small board. I think you can purchase it from the market, or if you are already teaching somewhere, friends, you in the college or in the school, wherever you are teaching, and if you find the vacant classroom or something, so you can take your snap with us in that, because many of our students, Shubhya, we remember those who are already teachers and all, when they got this opportunity, they used to fix up their camera, they used to go on the board and they used to give the teaching skill. So with us, whenever you have to take a snap, friends, maintain that particular thing. So maintain one particular board where you are in position to write it, so that we are in position to give you the feedback also. You mentioned about the teaching skills a person should have.
Right.
I ask Shikha, you also, and Shubhya, you can also contribute. What is the meaning of teaching skills?
So teaching skills, I can say now that what are soft skills you can align with
communication.
Yes, communication.
Language is important part of that, or what?
Yes, language is very important part, being as a good communicator.
Okay.
And plus, if you are a teacher, so it plays very important role. Language should be very clear, simple or engaging. I can say it should have coherence.
No
and
artificial
cohesion.
slang should be used. No informal slangs should be used. That is it. Skills are basically, they are telling you that does your personality fit into that position. So basically, whenever you're going for any interview, be it for the HR profile, be it for the teaching profile, anything, your skill set, your strength and weaknesses, they should be aligning to that position. Like suppose you are coming for the interview of a lecturer. If you do not have a good communication, or you say that, ma'am, I am a person who take time to understand the people or socialize with the people, it is becoming tough for you because that skill is required in you. Like we say that what are the qualities, what are the skill set of a good teacher?
Exactly.
The communication is a key skill set. Having the empathy towards the students, because at last you have to understand the students, you have to build a rapport
We
with
need
the
to be
students.
student-centric
Right?
actually.
Yeah, student-centric or teacher-centric, which approach you are going to choose, because they sometimes ask you even that what would be your approach, active or passive.
Yes.
These are the typical terminologies you should be familiar with whenever you're going for the interview of a teaching profession. Teacher-centric, student-centric, active learning, passive learning. And in the B.Ed, I would say, if the students have done it or not, there are certain typical, I would say, subject is there. That is teaching practice. That is actually what is being tested in your teaching skill set on the board test. So there actually a class is there, but even if you have not done it, there when we are giving an interviews, when we are asking the questions, we are making sure that the students should be familiar with all these terminologies so that he fits in that position very in a good way.
I got opportunity to interact with some selected candidates in teaching jobs. When our students get selected,
Right,
we interact
feedback.
with them. In one of such interaction, one student told me that I asked him, what do you think, you got, he told me he got highest marks in the interview. I asked him, what do you think, why you got it? He said, sir, maybe I was giving a lot of examples. Now, as teacher, we know that whenever we have to explain some concept, and if we quote some example, the visualization is there,
We need
and
to
the
be
student can
related.
they can relate it.
Related.
So some tips we can give to all the students who are listening for teaching, like friends, whatever you are explaining, try to give examples. If you give more examples, things become pretty simple for them. They can understand it. Try to link the subject which you are teaching with the real world applications. That is very important. Try to basically, show the honesty in explanation. Young teachers, when they join us, when they start teaching, the biggest problem they face is they think they are teacher and they are omnipotent. They know everything, and they know every part of the subject. And some student stands up, asks some question, and the teacher is not sure, but he starts bluffing. That is the biggest, mistake. Do not bluff. They will also check, friends, how do you react when you do not know something? Because you will agree with me that interviewer can ask you any kind of question which you don't know. And that question is asked not to check your knowledge, to check your honesty. And during this entire presentation skill test, I strongly believe, Subhya, that you should also very honestly say, sir, I'm not very sure about it. I'll gather this knowledge and I'll get back to you. So in actual classroom also, you are a teacher, we have seen that. In actual situation also, when we come across this situation, student is asking some question, okay friend, I do not know this at this moment, I'll get it and get back to you. Yeah, so be honest.
So it is basically how you learn, or how beautifully you say no to someone. Even that skill you should be learning, because even if you will see, sir, the feedback of the students, the ones who are selected, they are not answering 10 out of 10 of the questions. They are answering 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. But wherever they are making a mistake or they are not aware about it, they said no very beautifully, and that you should learn when you are going through the interview.
When I started my teaching career, Shubha, I asked one of the very reputed teacher, I went to him and said, sir, I am trying to pursue this career in teaching. So what do you think is a good teacher? He said, see friend, teaching is very simple. First, whatever you want to teach, you should have very clear, crisp and clear knowledge about that. If the concept is clear in your mind, and that concept, if you can transmit to the mind of the student in a simple language, gesture, posture, example. I have seen some very famous physics teacher dancing also, explaining the things. If you can transmit that knowledge to somebody, first that knowledge should be clear to you. पहले आपको clear हो, फिर आपने बड़े simple term में उसको transmit कर दी. That is teaching, and that we understood. And this thing they should keep in mind, that whatever they are teaching, first they should be clear. If they are not clear, believe me, they cannot transmit concept to somebody else. You mentioned about many teaching skills. One of the skills very important, other than interest in students and all these things, patience is very, very important. So patience is something, in case they ask you what are the main traits. One is interest in the students, strong, knowledge and concept and passion for that, and patience.
I think so we can demarcate it out in the 3 verticals.
Huh.
The very first is you need to be a good learner, because a teacher needs to be a good student first, and
Yeah.
then only you can be having a learning ability. The second, it would be having empathy with the students, that is understanding, or you can say building up the rapport. The third comes as a soft skill part, which requires your punctuality, discipline, and the patience and calmness you should have when you're engaging someone in the classes. So whenever you're dividing this, divide your things in 3 verticals when you're trying to explain what are the skill sets that are required to be a good teacher, or the skills you have, why you will be justifying that you can be a good teacher for us. So whatever, the verticals are very important. Similarly, the domains, you should be giving a header whenever you're presenting it about you.
Very important questions which certainly will be asked to you in the interview. Why you want to become teacher? Why you think you can become a good teacher? Why you left this job for teaching? Why don't you do other job opportunities which are coming your way or can come your way, but you are preferring teacher? What future or vision do you see for yourself being in teaching after 20 years, 10 years? Where do you see, you are doing? So those kind of questions, and obviously traits of a good teacher, and do you have those traits? Have you displayed this kind of teaching in the past? And if you have never done that, how are you sure that you will do justice? Those are very, very important questions, friends. They will be asking you these questions. One more thing I tell you, like, you need not to revise all the subjects, but couple of subjects in which you want to do teaching, you should be very thorough in those subjects. These are a couple of things which you need to have, right?
Okay.
So yes, I think one question can be that if you're already experienced in that bit experience, I can say. So yes, they can ask you for your achievements also and what you have been learned till now. But if there was someone like fresher candidate, I can say, like nobody, he's not aware about, as you mentioned, that young teachers, right? So how they can go for that question, that why do you want to join or why do you want to become a teacher?
Yeah, so whenever you want to join a job, the answer to that comes number one from your interest. You can be interested in some particular profession and there can be reason for that. You have seen some role model who is doing very good in that. You like this profession for its nobility. So, sir, I am interested in this profession. That is interest, not background. Interest can be anything. It can be like your family, friends, or something, profession, or noble profession, or whatever contribution it has. Second is your background in this. As you said, you do not have background in teaching. I have not done any teaching so far, but I can justify why you want to become teacher on the basis of, yes, I have interest in this, sir, because of this reason. This profession is very noble. It contributes to the life of so many people. One teacher can change the lives of thousands of individuals in his lifetime, and I find it very enriched profession because you are always in touch with the learning, acquiring the knowledge and distributing that knowledge to the individuals. So that is your interest. Second answer can be like your own temperament and your own personality. That's sir, I strongly believe that I can do teaching. Why? Because during my college days also, whenever some students were not understanding a concept, they used to come to me and I used to discuss with them, and I found that it is very easy for me to explain the concept to my peers. From there I realized that yes, I may be having the traits for that. So maybe I have the trait for that. I like this profession. And last but not the least, you can always say that as a profession, as a job, it has everything. It has time for you, for your family. It has a good respect in the society, and you get different kind of feeling of achievement when your students get somewhere. So you can link it in these particular ways.
But I will always say, sir, they should not be starting with the very start that I will be serving the nation, because you can do it at the very with the other professions too.
No,
so
serving nation is not the right word.
Yeah,
Subha.
it is not the right word. And even I would say that when you are starting it out just with the noble profession, the very first, it is one part of it.
Yes.
But
yes.
very first, it should be your interest, your passion, your you can say the kind of
from where you got motivation. That is very, very important question actually.
That is important. Actually.
And this question normally, what I've seen nowadays, it is being asked many interviews from where you got motivation to join this organization.
What motivates you to join?
So basically, what you have to learn is you have to learn the structure of the words. You have to put it in the right place and the right choice of words. These two things are very important when you are going for an HR part of any interview.
Yeah.
Specifically at the end, I can just say that you can also align your hobbies as well with this teaching if you are going for. Like some of the candidates I have heard, like they have hobby of reading novels, basically reading books or novels, but they are not aware about the names They are not aware about the authors. They are just reading that randomly. Like
Mm.
if you're a good reader, if you're a good teacher, of course you should have knowledge of that. That okay, you are learned something like that. And strength and weaknesses also you can align with that profession. Whatever the skills ma'am had told or like you have told sir. So we can also align with that. That what soft skills you are having to become a good teacher kind of. So yes.
Okay,
that
so I think we have more or less covered everything, Shubhya, and there are multiple friends videos which will be publishing. As I told you, like teaching skill के ऊपर how you are to have a teaching skill test and all. There's a video for that. What trades a teacher should have, there's a video on that. So there are so many videos on YourPedia. I strongly suggest you to watch those videos. You'll get a lot of ideas. And there's a document. We always release a document for any kind of interview. For Assam, this interview conducted by Assam Engineering Services Recruitment Board. For this also we are releasing the document related to what kind of things you should have in the interview. Please take this document and we look forward to mentor you for your interview. All the very best, friends. Thank you.